I think my time is over. I think my opportunity for love has faded away. I don't want to come from behind because I allowed all of the disappointments from the previous physicians to make me believe that I could be restored again. But God told me to tell you that if you would get down in your spirit that he came for the underdogs, that he came for the people who didn't mind coming from behind, that he's not looking for the person who came in first place, that he's a last place kind of God, and that he came for those of us who felt like we've been invisible to the world. Have you ever invested your livelihood into someone who was supposed to fix you, but for some reason they left you more empty than you were before you even met them? Friendships and relationships that you pour all of your hopes and all of your dreams and all of your faith into because you think that once you receive the validation of their attention or the validation of their love that you're going to be much better afterwards. But she spent all of her livelihood on the physicians, but she couldn't get any better. Looking for love in all of the wrong places. Looking for healing in all of the wrong places. She just wanted to be made well. The worst thing about being hurt is when you have good intentions going into it. You think that if I pour enough of myself into this situation, then maybe I will receive the desired outcome. This woman, she was searching for a physician, but she could not be healed by any. What I love about this woman was her commitment to coming out on the other side of her issues, though. She didn't realize that she would have to go through a few physicians. She'd have to go through a few disappointments. She'd have to go through a few heartbreaks. Maybe that's like someone in this room who's been wondering, why is it that the more I try, the more hurt I become? Maybe, just maybe, you're on your route to the ultimate physician, that maybe you had to get so desperate and so broken that you started searching for Jesus, that it wasn't about boyfriends and friendships and degrees and bank accounts, that all of a sudden you realize, I've been searching for the wrong physician. I thought I would find myself when I got my degree. I thought I would be better once I got in a relationship. I thought I would be okay, but I've been searching for all of the wrong physicians. And this woman whom I just love so much, she didn't mind coming from behind. The text literally tells us in verse 44 that the woman came from behind. I don't know your story, and I don't know what's represented in this room, but I know if you're anything like me, maybe your issue was different, but some of us had to come from behind. We didn't have the perfect lives. We didn't have the perfect stories, but we had a determination where we didn't mind coming from behind. I just want to thank God for a moment for the women who didn't mind coming from behind. I didn't mind that I didn't have all of the right friends, that I didn't have all of the right access. I didn't mind coming from behind because I believed that what God had for me was greater than any obstacle that was ahead of me. So I didn't mind coming from behind. My life may not be picture perfect, but I don't mind coming from behind. Coming from behind, that's how I felt. Like I was coming from behind as a teenage mother. Like I was coming from behind when I dropped out of college. Like I was coming from behind. Like I was constantly coming from behind. I'd take one step forward and two steps backwards. I keep coming from behind, coming from behind. And there were moments where I even wanted to count myself out. But for some reason, I was able to pick up the pieces and try again. And maybe I didn't try in the right atmosphere, but I was willing to pick up the pieces from that broken heart and try again. I just happen to believe that there are some women in this theater who did not mind picking up the pieces and registering for a conference and coming all the way to Hollywood, California, because I don't mind coming from behind, because I know what God has for me is for me, and I don't care how long this issue has had me. I believe that in the name of Jesus that chains can be broken off of my life, and I've seen him do it in the lives of my friends, and I've seen him do it for my mother, and I've seen him do it for Pastor Holly. I don't mind coming from behind to get my blessing. Sometimes the thing that keeps us from getting our blessing is that we've got too much pride to come from behind. We learn to acquiesce in our lives. and to say things like, we don't want it anymore, because we're too afraid to come from behind. I'm too old to go back to school. I'll never be able to write that book. I think my time is over. I think my opportunity for love has faded away. I don't want to come from behind because I allowed all of the disappointments from the previous physicians to make me believe that I could be restored again. But God told me to tell you that if you would get down in your spirit that he came for the underdogs, that he came for the people who didn't mind coming from behind, that he's not looking for the person who came in first place, that he's a last place kind of God, and that he came for those of us who felt like we've been invisible to the world, because he sees us. He recognizes what he placed down on the inside of you. And regardless of what has happened to you in life and what has hurt you in life, he's still got a treasure down on the inside of you, and he can see past your brokenness. Why can't you?